and it affected us.
Your bench once again was huge.
Our bench was huge. Our bench, I mean, that's what stretched the game. That stretch in the end of the first and through most of the second quarter, we left them out there. They're just playing so free together. They're defending. You know, one of the differences, they're defending now. You know, and so when they get stops, they can run. There's no ball pressure that can be put on them, you know, without having you know, a quote-unquote point guard on the floor. So it's been really good.
You've had a few games where you're able to answer a run with a run, or take a punch, so to speak. I mean, is that an improvement?
Yeah, but that's, you know, the good thing is, you know, Murph, that's where the bench is so important, because when that run happens, the starters were off the floor in some ways. You put your starters back on, and they have rest, they're ready, and they were fresh down the stretch. And, you know, when you look at the minutes, you know, Kevin, I think, which is unusual for us, led our starters in minutes at 33. I mean, that's low minutes, you know, for everyone else. That means they're fresh.
Seems like this turnaround happened in 5 game-winning streak. Can you point to anything in particular?
No, I think there's a lot of little things, you know. We've decided to defend as a group full time and stay committed to it. Avery's return has helped. The second unit now has a second unit. You know, Jet's not in the first unit, or Courtney. You know, it's pretty solidified who the second unit is. So, you know, now when we practice, that group's always together. So I think there's a lot of little things to it.
Was there anything you saw that gave you a clue that Jared would become an impact guy like this these last few games?
No, I mean, he's just getting better. He's a good player, you know, and he deserves to be a good player. He's always been a good player, and he was a bad player for one day, and that was the draft. You know, other than that, he's always been a good player.
After the road stretch there, you said that at times the guys looked old and slow. Have you seen a progression going towards the other way since then?
Yeah, we look new and young now. I don't know. We did. We looked tired and all that. But I just thought, you know, when you're losing, you lack energy, and when you're playing thought, you play slow. And I thought we were, again, doing way too much thinking on the floor instead of just buying into what we're doing. And for whatever reason, it's taken a while, but now they've kind of bought in. And you know, our defense has been pretty good. Again, holding another high-scoring team to 91 points. You know, we played Phoenix high-scoring, or tries to be, and New York, and you know, we're holding teams under the number, and it's because of our defense. And when we do that, then we score. You know, we shot 52% tonight, and held the team to 91 points.
Dr. Lee, I saw you talk about Sullinger, but Kevin comes in right at the end and kind of finishes them off. That's the kind of inside basketball you've been really looking to get for a while.
Yeah, it is. You know, it helped that they didn't have their big guy on the floor too. I mean, because he's a tough one for Kevin, because he's long, but he's heavy. I mean, he's big. So, you know, but the inside game wasn't really a post. It was more out of the pick and roll tonight. And then, you know, Kevin did have 2 back-to-back posts as well. So, yeah, it's good, especially when you're trying to stop a run. It's always nice to be able to go to the post.
You're talking about your defense. You talked about your free throw defense.
Yeah, it was terrific. Yeah, it was part of the game plan. It really was with Ashik. I mean, I was livid, and they knew it. He got 2 layups to start the game, and that's the one thing we said they cannot happen. You know, he's shooting 50%. He's got to shoot free throws. You know, and he got 2 dunks, I think, right to start the game. So, you know, usually he shoots better than that. He shoots 50%. So.
The defense on Harden tonight. Your thoughts on that?
It was nice. Did he get 25?
No.
Then it was terrific. It was great.
You guys have been the only team really like the last couple of weeks to hold him under 25.
Yeah, he had a streak. He was broken tonight, right? I'm joking. You know, listen, he did miss some good shots, but I just thought the pressure up the floor on him by Avery was really important for us. We talked about it, and Rondo had to get up today too, and guard Lynn. And I thought both of those guys being on the other side of half court extended their pick and rolls, extended their offense, and that's what we were thinking going into the game, and it played out that way.
Doc, another efficient scoring night for Pierce. How nice is it now not to have as much of the scoring onus on him?
It's nice when he can sit that long and still do what he does, and you know he's going to be fresh down the stretch. You know, Jeff he's been playing so well, And the better Jeff plays, the better Paul will play too, because he'll have more energy.
Doc, I asked you about a week or two ago if all you needed with this team was a few wins in a row. Now you've got 5 in a row. Are you surprised that that's all it took, that it switched that quickly?
Well, wins help, you know, it makes you confident, you know, and losing makes you the other way. And so we're winning games, it helps. You know, when I told our guys, I thought the last game, I can't even think who we played, Phoenix, we had a lot of slippage. And tonight, I thought we got back to playing the right way.
Doc, it seems like the past few drafts, dating back to Bradley and now Sullinger, and even last year with Johnson and Moore, those were players, young players, but they had like high character, and they kind of came into the league understanding what their role would be. How important is that?
That's huge. You know, we tried that other way for a little while, as you know, and that doesn't work. When you try the potential guy, but maybe not high character and a gamble, but he has a big upside, you know, usually those guys don't work out. The guys with character and potential usually work out because they're willing to listen and improve. And they understand their limitations, they understand their roles, and they fit in, especially with a veteran team. I think it's a lot easier.
Doc, do you see any comparisons between the way Sully is working into your bench and is sometimes getting out there with the starters and Glenn Davis, Big Baby?
I don't know. I think we're going to make those comparisons. I think they're completely different in the way they play. You know, so. But Baby was great for us his rookie year and his first his whole career with us. So, you know, and we have, you know, him coming off the bench. So that's the comparison. But they don't play anywhere the same. I think they're not similar at all to me by the way they play. I mean, you know, Baby's feet were better as far as defensively with guard and pick and rolls. And Sully's just a dynamic rebounder.
You played Sully the whole second quarter tonight. Would you have done that earlier in the year? And if not, what is it about the way he's developed that allows you to do that?
But he's playing better, and so the coach has more confidence in him. That's one. And he just, you know, I said it earlier in the year. When he's on the floor, he does the right stuff, you know, and a lot of stuff you don't see, like, you know, just being able to throw him the ball. You know, how many rookies have we ever thrown the ball at the top of the circle, and he decides which way he wants to go with it, you know. He just has a great calm about him, and he helps us, especially with that second unit, because you got to always have a passing big in our offense, and he gives us that extra passing big.
Doc, I read that you spoke to some Red Sox prospects recently. Is that true?
Yeah.
What was that about? What did you say to those guys?
Well, the first thing I told him was I didn't talk to him last year, and so I wasn't responsible for any of that. No, we just talk. Terry used to have me come in, and you know, last year I didn't do it, and they brought me back this year, and it's all their prospects and new guys, and you know, we just talk about, you know, being a rookie and a young guy in sports, and what to expect from a player's perspective when I played 100 years ago, and coaching, and then just the city of Boston, and so it's good for them.
Is it nice that they think of you that way, that they call you up and ask you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they can get anybody else. I could have been the last guy in line. I mean, who knows? But it is nice. I know John a little bit too, so it's nice. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.